Afternoon. It sounds good. Thank you for joining us for the Michigan Women Forward, WomanUp and Celebrate, Women of Achievement and Courage Awards. I'm Carolyn Casson, President and CEO of Michigan Women Forward, and I'm here to welcome all of you to this event today. Now, this is the first virtual event that MWF has ever attempted, so bear with us. One of the many ways that we've had to pivot as a result of COVID-19. I know that everyone here with us today, whether you're watching or you're here in the room, has been impacted in many, many significant ways because of this virus. These are strange and overwhelming times. In my opinion, women have been the heroines of this pandemic. We've become full-time teachers, caregivers, nurses, cleaning women. My house has never been cleaner. All at the same time, keeping our full-time jobs as businesswomen. None of us are sure about what is going to come next. But it looks like the new normal is going to be very different from the old world order. What we knew in the past will not be what the future looks like. I, for one, am excited about the new world order because I don't really think that the old world order has exactly been the best circumstances for women and minorities in the United States. As our name demands, MWF is looking forward. We're going to be very hopeful about the future because we are going to create it. So to keep everyone safe and maintain our social distance, we're live streaming right now, believe it or not, from the JW Marriott in Grand Rapids. We have a small team of mighty people here to help us make this happen. And our honorees are here with me. And I know that there are hundreds and hundreds of you out there watching. So please go to our Facebook account or go to yours and leave a message that you're watching this. Sign the guest book so that we'll know who stopped by, because we'd like to keep in touch with you. We want to keep this going. For those of you who are being introduced to Michigan Women Forward for the first time, we're very glad you're with us today. For those of you who have been with us year after year at these events in Detroit and Grand Rapids, we miss you, and we wish that you were here with us today. We can't wait to see you again. So let me spend a few minutes here updating you on what we've been up to over the last few months, and especially since April when we couldn't get together. Michigan Women Forward is a nonprofit organization that empowers women to be leaders, inventors, dreamers, and doers. Our mission is to eliminate barriers to economic and social equality and to create an inclusive economy. We do that through innovative programming designed not only for women, but by women. It's important for you to know that MWF stands behind every woman. Every woman. Any woman who is left behind leaves all of us behind. And an injustice to one of us is an injustice to all of us. Inclusivity and diversity are at the heart and the purpose of our work. MWF's mission is to change the world for all women, especially those who are disproportionately impacted by both racism and sexism. We stand with our sisters, women of color, at this very important time in the history of our country. Our mission also involves investing. We invest in the unstoppable generation of young women that are out there today. We call them You Go Girls. We host summer camps and after-school programs for middle school and high school girls. But this summer, everything is virtual. Girls are gathering on our website every day to learn, to become better leaders, to meet boss women, so that they will have the skills they need to lead the fight for social justice. Another part of our mission is honoring the historical contributions of Michigan women by maintaining the Michigan Women's Historical Center and Hall of Fame in Lansing, Michigan. We call it Her Story. The museum and Hall of Fame are closed, but we have big plans underway to start doing virtual tours and virtual programming in the coming months. We're most well known, however, I think, for the work we do to help women create both economic power and personal wealth by providing microloans to women-owned businesses. More than just funding, MWF encourages entrepreneurs to women up and learn. We provide educational summits and technical assistance about how to start, grow, and successfully run a business. We connect women with mentors and coaches and help them build connections with one another to create a statewide women's entrepreneurial ecosystem. And every one of you out there, listening in or in this room, is an important part of their journey. MWF has focused much of our attention these past 3 months on small businesses, especially women-owned small businesses. All the ones that we've invested in over the past 5 years, who know through no fault of their own, found themselves shuttered without warning. In March, I asked our team to come up with some bold and creative ideas about how we could help businesses who were suffering from COVID-19 related closures. And they came up with a brilliant idea: the Michigan Entrepreneur Resilience Fund. So in the middle of a pandemic, we decided to raise $1.5 million. Why not, right? So that we could help more women. We went to our colleagues, who I know are watching out there, Latasha Peoples and Maggie at MEDC. Thank you for helping us. Thank you for investing in this fund. Thank you for believing in us. Believe it or not, the SBA, the federal government, invested in this as well, and the New Economy Initiative, and our friends at Consumers Energy, who were first money in, and you know how important, if you're an entrepreneur, how important first money in is. Carolyn Bloodworth, I know you're out there somewhere with your consumers team at a watch party, and thank you. Thank you so much for helping us. General Motors chimed in, and many of our financial institutions, Comerica, Huntington, Fifth Third. All together, we put together $1.5 million to provide grants and microloans for businesses in Michigan who have been impacted by this virus so that they could restart their company and contribute again to the Michigan economy. We're about halfway through expending those funds, and we're working our way through over 1,100 applications. By the time we finish, we will have helped reopen over 200 businesses. But I assure you here today, and in the face of all of you, that we are committed to making sure that we will find the funds to open the rest of you who didn't make it through this process. We're going to do everything we can possibly do to reopen women-owned businesses so that we can all survive this crisis. So now I want you to hear, not from me, but directly from some of our entrepreneurs about their experiences. Take it away.
Greetings, friends and supporters of MWF. This is Dara Mayho, co-owner of Wise Man Tree Experts, a full-service tree care company located right here in Lansing, Michigan.
Hi, my name is Lakeisha Williams, owner of 21st Century Hair Salon.
Hi, my name is Heather Picnic. I am the owner of Miss Maple Winery. We have been in business for about 7 years now. We make wine out of our maple syrup.
My name is Lana Harden. I am the founder of Live Your Song LLC.
Hi, I'm Hannah Berry, owner of Lions and Rabbits Art Gallery and Event Space in the Crescent neighborhood of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I am so fortunate and grateful to have been a recipient of the Michigan Entrepreneur Resilience Fund. I personally know that without the help of this fund, I'm not quite sure that I would have been able to move my business forward.
A huge bummer for us and a lot of other people is COVID, obviously. And as we move forward in working in this transition, our programming has been built for communities that needed sustainable resiliency programming in them. It's our goal to work with the people that are leading this initiatives and be able to take them and show the world what they're made of. Because of this grant, we are able to do that.
MWF has given us a grant, which we greatly appreciate so that we can start this online business. We've hired a company so we can get ourselves out there. We plan on continuing to build our business with the gracious money that they have given us to help build this into our dream.
We're able now to pivot our business, to purchase equipment, and to set ourselves up remotely, as well as make sure that we're able to automate our online marketing and sales. We're a small team, so this means a whole lot to us.
MWF has provided a platform of resources for women business owners to take our businesses to the next level. I can't tell you how many summits, how many mentor opportunities, the WomanUp and Pitch opportunities. I've grown tremendously over the past 2 years that I've worked with MWF.
We just want to say a huge thank you. Live Your Song is forever grateful for support from the generous donors and organizations that have rallied behind us as small business owners to show us that our businesses are valuable and that we matter and that we can still thrive even in a post-COVID environment.
I would like to thank Michigan Women Forward Organization for the grant funds in the amount of $5,000. We were so excited. We're so appreciative, and I would like to say thank you all so much.
If you're out there and looking to give or donate, this is a great opportunity. There are so many people out there who you would be helping establish a dream that they themselves can't build on their own.
I want you all looking on to know if you're looking for an organization that you would like to contribute to, look more into MWF. Look no further. This is a great organization that gives a platform to women like me, and I say thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
They say it a lot better than I do, don't they? I also have to thank our sponsors who are with us not just during the crisis, but all year round. They provide us with the financial resources that allows us to do this important work. If you logged on early, you saw their names scrolling on the screen. If you didn't, please go to our website, miwf.org, to find the full list of supporters across the state. It's an impressive group. And frankly, it's your guide to Michigan companies who have invested in women and who believe in their success. Please patronize these businesses because they care about you. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the Woman of Achievement and Courage Awards. Our first recipient is not an individual woman, but a group of over 500 courageous and inspiring women who call themselves the Sister Survivors of MSU, USA Gymnastics, and the United States Olympic Committee. I know you remember their story. It's a Michigan story. This group of athletes bravely came forward to report sexual abuse by former sports medicine doctor Larry Nassar. The Sister Survivors found solace and strength in one another as they transformed themselves from not only being outstanding athletes into powerful activists. And their collective courage empowered countless other survivors to come forward. Today, we have one of the Sister Survivors with us, Natalie Venuto Hawkins, to accept the award on behalf of the over 500 Sister Survivors. Natalie is proud to be a part of this army of survivors, a nonprofit that helps athletes who have experienced sexual violence. She's a board member of the MSU Sexual Assault Advisory Program and lives here in Grand Rapids with her husband Grant, her son James, and a dog named Walrus. She is also a designer and digital strategist who loves helping startups and entrepreneurs, which is why we love her. She currently works at Amway. But before I invite her up to the stage to receive her award, we want to show you a brief video about this group's incredible story. This video contains content relating to sexual assault, so viewer discretion is advised.
Abuse, silence, victory. Abuse, silence, victory. This cycle was repeated over and over for generations. But finally in 2016, it was disrupted, starting with an Indiana newspaper, followed by one woman coming forward, then another, then more.
I spent those years just hoping that I was the only one. But how could I be?
Dr. Larry Nassar was arrested yesterday in Indiana.
Dr. Larry Nassar has been charged with 3 counts of
U.S. gymnastics doctor pleaded guilty to sexually abusing young gymnasts while claiming to treat their injuries.
I was greeted by an image, a mugshot of Nassar on the television screen. I knew instantly that what I had thought was extremely inappropriate was real. I'm not gonna cry anymore. That moment, like I'll just never forget that moment. Like that's when my life really started to like move again.
After years and for some decades, their silence finally ended this past January. There in a Michigan courtroom, they came together and reclaimed their voice, no longer alone in their fight.
Honorable Judge Aquilina, first I would like to thank you.
I felt like I was taking back that 16-year-old that was stolen. Her innocence, my innocence. I was taking that back.
To Larry, today I'm speaking to you as my 10-year-old self. I should have never met this sad excuse for a man who stole my innocence from me.
I can't even put into words how much I hate you.
How dare you ask any of us for forgiveness?
You are pathetic to think that anyone would have any sympathy for you.
The time is up. No longer.
This army you have created, this army doesn't have a white flag to wave. But even though I'm a victim, I do not and will not live my life as one. I am an Olympian.
Larry, this group of women you so heartlessly abused over such a long period of time are now a force, and you are nothing.
It became something so much bigger. As the days went on, the momentum built, and the country, the world started listening to us.
We are survivors. We are Jane Does no more.
All of those years of questioning myself and my own worth were over. I wasn't a victim anymore. I was a survivor, and I had an army of survivors behind me too.
I believe in individualized sentencing. I follow the Constitution, and I believe our system works. I also believe these survivors.
I'm speaking up today for the first time publicly in order to honor my 2-year-old daughter and to be able to show her that her mom was brave and that her mom stood up.
If we have to walk this journey to make sure that no other little girl has to walk this journey, then that's exactly what we're going to do.
Jordan Weaver, survivor. Tiffany Thomas Lopez, survivor. Lindsay Lemke, Jamie Bancher, Sterling Ringhead, Maggie Nichols, Larissa Boyce, survivor.
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 Rachel Den Hollander, survivor.
Please welcome Natalie Venuto Hawkins to accept the 2020 Women of Achievement and Courage Award. Thank you from all of us.
Thank you, Michigan Women Forward. Thank you. My name is Natalie Venuto Hawkins. I am here on behalf of my sister survivors that you just saw on the video and so many more who are not on that video. It is an honor to accept this award on behalf of the hundreds of women I am proud to call my sisters in this journey. We were brought together by sexual abuse, our shared trauma, but instead of letting that abuse define us, it has empowered us to fight for change. I am here representing more than 500 women who I wish could be up here with me today. While they can't be with me today for the sake of public health and safety, I want it to be known that it means so much to all of us to be recognized in this way. While there are hundreds of us who have come forward both publicly and anonymously as victims and survivors of abuse, I am also here on behalf of those who are still suffering in silence. The collective group of sister survivors is represented as a heart on the screen. Since our story became public in 2016, countless heartbreaking things have happened in our world. The Me Too movement shed light on the widespread incidents of sexual assault and abuse, along with harrowing statistics like these. 1 in 4 women has experienced some form of sexual abuse, 1 in 5 Black women have reported being raped, and members of the LGBTQ+ community are 3 times more likely to be sexually assaulted than heterosexual women. Keep in mind, those numbers only reflect those who have had the ability to come forward and speak out and be listened to. Through these troubling times, we have discovered that we are more than just statistics. We are committed to making a positive impact on our world for the sake of future generations. Collectively, the sister survivors have helped pass a package of 27 bills in Michigan that are aimed at punishing predators and preventing sexual assault of minors. New laws revisiting the statute of limitations for child sex abuse cases have passed across the country. 46 states eliminated criminal statute of limitations, 10 states eliminated civil statute of limitations, and 17 states revived expired civil claims. We continue to fight for survivors everywhere. We are truly stronger together. I'd like to thank the hundreds of women who had the courage to come forward, who I am here representing today. We were inspired by Rachel Den Hollander, who you saw in the video, who continues to advocate for survivors. Thank you to Andy Povolitis and Andrea Munford for fighting to make sure that we were heard. And thank you to Judge Rosemarie Aquilina, who listened to us and gave us a platform. She told us to leave our pain behind and go out and do magnificent things. And that's what we're doing. Thank you to Michigan Women Forward on behalf of all sister survivors.
Thank you so much, Natalie. You inspire all of us. But there are 3 more incredible women that you will be inspired by. So now I have the privilege of introducing one of our own here, a former board member of MWF, Stacy Baylor, Group Vice President, Public Affairs and Communications for Meyer. She's the co-chair of today's event. Please welcome Stacy.
Thank you, Carolyn, and good afternoon. I'm so honored to co-chair this year's event. When Judy called and asked if I would do it again this year, I jumped at the chance to be a part of this amazing celebration. I didn't know it would be quite like this, but I think it's pretty spectacular. I know that my other co-chairs, some of whom are here today, Meg Goebel, Rania Cruz, Joanne Chavez, Clara Walker-Miller, we all are so proud and honored to co-chair this event, and we want to thank the many committee members who made this event possible. I'd like to take a moment on behalf of Michigan Women Forward to recognize one of our previous Women of Achievement and Courage Award winners that we lost this year, a dynamic woman named Deb Bailey. Deb's impact could be felt around the state, but particularly here in West Michigan. She was an amazing supporter of MWF, a 2015 honoree, a member of our Power of 100 Women, and a co-chair of this event for many, many times. She's truly missed, and we think about her today on this special day. As I mentioned, while this year's event is certainly different than what we expected, I'm suggesting in some ways maybe it's better. No, we're not all in the same room, but we are, across the state and even outside of Michigan, all collected together to share a singular time and focus on the mission of Michigan Women Forward, the celebration of 3 remarkable women, and to recognize the strength and resilience of the sister survivors. And frankly, it's a great opportunity to tell you you belong here with Michigan Women Forward. I'm proud also, on behalf of Meyer, to tell you that Meyer's been a part of Michigan Women Forward for years. And this year, I'm excited to share with you that Meyer is going to match all donations up to $30,000 this year. And I know how excited that makes you, because your dollar, your $1, your $10, your $50, your $10,000 will be matched double. And I know that you can't resist a good deal. I'm proud to be part of Meyer. Our purpose is to enrich the lives and the communities we serve, and we know Michigan Women Forward does just that. So please join me today in making a donation, because our work, as Carolyn mentioned, is more critical now than ever. Advancing women and girls in Michigan is important. Advancing Black, African American, Indigenous, and women and girls of color in this state is important. But this important work is not free, and it doesn't just happen without financial support. Can't be any plainer than that, and you know it. What I can be, though, is helpful, and today we're making it super easy for you to be a part of this important work. You'll see on the screen an opportunity and information about how to give, how to become a part of Michigan Women Forward. Your gift, again, is going to be matched up to $30,000 by Meyer. So please, don't hesitate. Join us in becoming part of Michigan Women Forward. Now, it is my absolute honor to introduce our first recipient of this year's Women of Achievement and Courage Award, my friend, Joan Button. Of course, Joan Button, the president and CEO of Priority Health, the second largest health plan in the state of Michigan, is a woman of achievement. Her business savvy, relentless pursuit of excellence are just a few of her trademarks. And yes, she has courage, a lot of courage. Her colleagues and friends will tell you that when Joan is the person in a room, she's the one who speaks up and speaks out, holding people accountable and publicly acknowledging the fantastic work and the things she thinks need to be fixed. Joan is so much more, though, than courageous and achieving. She is generous, she is caring, she is loyal, and she has a humility and a curiosity that most people at her professional level have left far behind. Her most precious things, though, are not her title and not her influence, but her relationships. Whether it's with her family, Doug, her kids, Mitch and Megan, with her friends, with her team, with her colleagues, with her mentees, many mentees, or her community, it's obvious that Joan is willing to invest herself in her people. I've watched my friend for many years trying to be more like her, and I simply cannot understand how she has the time and energy to so authentically and selflessly give of herself. She is truly a remarkable woman. Let's hear more about Joan Button in this video.
Joni's always been a very positive impact on my life, and it's been very rewarding for me because we're both active in the Detroit business community, and I just love when somebody finds out that we're brother and sister, and they always go on and on to me about how wonderful she is, and it just makes me feel so warm, and I just wish my mom and dad were here to see this.
When you see strong women in this community leading organizations, it lets other women see that those opportunities exist. Joan does it exceptionally well if you look at the number of strong women on her team, and particularly the number of people that Joan mentors in our community.
She always takes the time to meet with people and uplift them, and that's something that I really want people to say about me one day.
She is a fantastic connector. She puts people together that can help each other. She practices what she preaches and helping women, and her executive staff is a perfect example of that.
In our mentoring sessions, Joan always asks what challenges I'm facing or successes that I've had since our last session. And she always ends with the question, what can I do for you? And I think that's really important because it makes me feel like I have an advocate.
She is very accomplished, has now been the CEO of Priority Health for a number of years, and because of her own experiences in getting there, she understands the benefits that women bring professionally and as well as the challenges.
Joan believes that women need each other and should be able to trust and learn from each other. And with her nonprofit board experience, she is, I would say, a mentor without using the formal word mentor to so many women.
I mean, somebody's so busy, president of a large insurance company, just taking that time, and she makes that time on a regular basis, is pretty remarkable. Not everybody does that.
Whatever Joan pursues, there is a tremendous amount of passion. She is a chess player in the world of checkers players.
She will drop anything for you. If we haven't maybe texted each other in months or called each other, I know I can pick up the phone, I can text her, she will be there.
So Joe, I'm so proud of you, and this award is something that you deserve and you work so hard to do and helped other people. The kids and I couldn't be any prouder of your achievements, and I know your parents are looking down with big smiles as well. Love you so much.
Congratulations, Joan. I'm so proud to know you, and I can't think of anyone more deserving of the Women of Achievement and Courage Award, and I'm just so grateful for you.
Joan, congratulations. So well deserved. You're the best.
Congratulations, Joan Budden. You deserve receiving this award. You are a woman of achievement and courage. Thank you.
Please welcome our first winner of the 2020 Women of Achievement and Courage Award, Joan Budden.
Thank you, Stacy. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm a blubber ball right now. Okay, let's try and make it through. You're too generous, Stacy is just incredible. It's such an honor for me to receive this award. It means so much to me because this was the first event I ever went to as a young professional. So as a 20-something, I got the honor of going to this event. I think it was on the east side of the state, and I was in awe of the honorees and the incredible professional, smart, and successful women that were in the room to honor them. Over the years, I've seen NWF grow and expand. Carolyn has an incredible, innovative vision for the organization and has taken them to new heights. But this event, the lunch, is always my favorite event. And this year, even though it's virtual, I think it's spectacular because it encourages, inspires all of us, right? To me, it encourages me that women can make a difference, that we can work together, we can be supportive of each other, and we can make the world a better place. I think it inspires me to mentor more, to help other people, to make a difference myself. So I do try and be there for people, be an objective sounding board, a connector, a listening ear for people, because I love it when they be their best selves. That's what brings me joy, is seeing other people succeed and carry on. And I think that's really spectacular. Of course, while that all is true, and I love seeing other people succeed, I acknowledge that I wouldn't be where I am today without the support and this encouragement of so many other people in my career. Some of them have been men, like Bob Roth and my brother, and Rick Breon, Bill Smith, Rick Baker, all have been fantastic. Some of them have been examples of fierce female leaders, like my mom, like a Marianne Udow or a Fran Parker or a Stacy Bueller. And some of them have been mentors and friends, people like Terry Merritt and Deb Phillips, who was instrumental in bringing me to West Michigan and to Priority Health. And I have to tell you, it was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. Of course, the true best decision I ever made was picking the right life partner, and that's my husband, Doug. Excuse me. He's so awesome. He's with me all the time, ups and downs. He helps me be my best self. He supports me in being me and lets me be me, which is no easy feat. And we've done a good job, and we know that because we've achieved one of the best rewards in life, having 2 beautiful, wonderful kids. And I know they're wonderful because I see them becoming their best selves. So my son, who's bright and smart and curious, treats his fiancée with support, love, and the partnership she deserves. My daughter has the courage to pursue her passion to help others, even when the hurdles have been steep. I have so much admiration for her beauty and her intelligence and her compassion to always help people. So you can see I've had a blessed life. I'm pretty lucky. All of that on the personal side, while I've been able to pursue my passion and have an influence on the healthcare landscape here in Michigan, my passion to help people get access to the care they need. So what I would like to say today is I encourage all of you to use your talents and your passion to make this world a better place. Thank you so much.
See, that's why we picked her. Oh my, that's just amazing. Okay, we're gonna move on, and now it's my honor to introduce one of my fantastic co-chairs, Rania Cruz. She's the founder and CEO of OpTech LLC and OpTech Solutions.
Thank you, Stacy. It's so great being here. As mentioned, my name is Rania Cruz, and I'm the founder and CEO of OpTech, and I, along with Joanne and Carla, proudly chaired the WomanUp and Celebrate Committee for Southeast Michigan. I am delighted that this year we can all be together with supporters across the state. I have been an MWF supporter and donor for 10 years. And the reason I keep coming back is just the amazing impact that they have made on the community and entrepreneurs around the state, to women and minority women. They just do an amazing job, not to mention all the wonderful things they do for the community. And now, before I introduce our next honoree, let's go to the website to see how we're doing. Okay, we have raised $3,320 out of our $30,000. Come on, folks, let's start making those donations. We need the donations. We need you to support these women-owned businesses. Let's be generous here. If you feel that you're blessed in your life, please bless others as well. Now, I would like to introduce, before we do that, remember to text MIWF to 56651 to make your donation. Now I'd like to introduce our next fabulous Women of Achievement and Courage honoree, Kim Trent. Kim is the inaugural Deputy Director for Prosperity for Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity. In her role, she guides and builds support for efforts to boost the economic security of Michigan citizens. She also leads the Michigan Poverty Task Force. Kim was previously an award-winning City Hall reporter for the Detroit News and served in numerous influential government positions. Kim is a committed social activist and political leader. In 2015, Kim launched the African American 490 Challenge, a successful campaign that mobilized African American women to raise more than $600,000. How amazing is that? And that was to pay for the processing of Detroit's abandoned rape kits. She worked closely with Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy in support of the Enough Said campaign, which paid for the processing of 1,300 rape kits and funded the prosecution of offenders. In addition to degrees in journalism, Africa Studies, and masters in communication, Kim earned fellowships with the American Political Science Association in Washington, D.C., and Michigan Political Leadership Program at Michigan State University. Kim, While I can't capture all of your accomplishments and the impact you've had for women and girls so far, we asked some of your friends and colleagues to help us tell your story. Let's look at the video.
Kim Trent has been able to impact my life by helping ignite a fire that I didn't know was inside me.
She has always been a cheerleader and a champion for my endeavors.
Kim has always been a sounding board for me. She's a real champion, encouraging me every step of the way and really cheering on my professional and personal developments.
Kim is impactful because she's authentically her. It's, here's Kim, and you can take it or you can leave it. And so definitely for me, she empowers me to walk in those same footsteps of just fearlessly being myself.
I'd say the most impactful example of Kim leveling the playing field is really her leadership role while she was on the Wayne State Board of Governors. She connected communities, particularly underserved communities, to ensure that they got resources and educational opportunities in the city of Detroit.
What hasn't she done? She's worked on all these incredible campaigns, from Carolyn Cheeks Kilpatrick to Governor Granholm and now Governor Whitmer. She's literally on the team to help push women to be impactful to their community. So I think that's the biggest way she's empowering women.
Sometimes women feel as though we are in competition with one another, but I set Kim apart where she doesn't look at us as competitors. We are all in this together, and we are all great together when we move together for a common goal.
As soon as you meet Kim, she's full of life, loves to laugh, loves to love, and not afraid to be herself. She really comes through, and when you get connected with her, you're connected for life.
Kim is always known to leave the door open for people coming behind her. Kim is always looking for the opportunity to reach back and mentor young women, young men, whether it's in a political career or whether it's in the media arena. She's always, always looking for ways to help people get to the next level in their careers.
My favorite story about Kim has to involve Prince.
She is Prince's #1 fan. There is no other fan greater than Kim Trent.
Kim and I and a few of our friends got to see Prince at the Fox Theater shortly before he passed away. And it was Kim who took the time to get on the computer, cell phone in hand, to ensure that we got tickets. Now, if that wasn't fantastic enough, it was dinner, which is my favorite part about the story. Right before the concert, Kim produces a piece of paper and says she did some research that day. And she looked up the probability that I would hear my favorite song, which was low. She really wanted to set my level of expectations. She wanted to make sure I could settle in and watch the show. So I settle in, we're relaxing, we're having a great time. It's a spectacular show. And on his third encore, the first note, Kim knew it was my song. And I think she was more excited than I was. 3 words to describe Kim:
fierce,
transformational,
unrelenting,
diva, in a good way,
activist,
strategic,
passionate,
passionate.
And my bonus word would have to be hilarious.
Welcome Kim Trent, our 2020 Women of Achievement and Courage honoree.
Thank you so much. I knew I was going to have tears because I'm a crybaby, but I didn't think it was going to be because of Prince, so that was fun. I do want to thank my friends for that, and I really want to thank MWF and Carolyn and your entire team and all of you for being here today under less than ideal circumstances, but this room is filled with such warmth. I wish that everyone who was watching could be here so you can feel just the love that's in this room for this amazing organization that has just done amazing things for our community and our state. A lot of time, most of the time, I would say, when things really change, and we're going through a time of change and transformation right now in our country, as you know, but it's because one person just got really ticked off. And I just want to tell you the story of how I got ticked off. There were 2 things that ticked me off. One was a story that appeared in the Detroit Free Press that was written by my friend Nancy Caffer about rape culture in the Detroit Police Department, and just the callousness that took place that allowed the allowed for 11,341 rape kits to sit in a warehouse unprocessed, some of which were there for decades, 3 decades. I read that story and it really ticked me off. And then I posted it on Facebook and posted some other things about rape culture. And then that's when I got ticked off again because I got comments from people who were just dyed-in-the-wool misogynist and who really were in place to protect rape culture. And I think that even good people, because it's very intentional, that word rape culture, that term, because it's part of our culture and it's so ingrained, and I don't even think people have a full appreciation for how it operates. And so I wanted to make rape culture visible. And so I was going back and forth with a person, and one day I'm going to actually go back and look at this thread because it got pretty heated. And I said, you know what, I'm not arguing with you on Facebook anymore. I'm going to do something because this is infuriating me. And I got inbox messages from my friend Maureen Stapleton and my friend Darcy McConnell, and they said, let's do something. And within a week, we stood out in front of a historic building in Midtown Detroit with dozens of African-American women leaders. In that moment, people who were there will tell you that people just got goosebumps because within days, people stood out in front of that building and said, we are black women who are disgusted with the fact that all these rape kits sat unprocessed, and we're going to do something about it. And we committed that day to raise more than $500,000. And through creativity, energy, and just brilliance, we did it. And I'm so proud of the black women of Detroit. I'm proud of all of us, but particularly the black women of Detroit who came together to solve this problem, to help solve this problem, led by one especially dynamic black woman named Kim Worthy, our Wayne County prosecutor. If not for her vision, if not for her grit, none of this would have happened. There were people who advised her to just look the other way because you have to remember what was going on in 2009 when the kits were discovered. It was when the bottom had fallen out of the auto industry. It was when our mayor was on his way to prison. It was a tough time for Detroit. And we knew that the cost of processing those kits was going to be astronomical, but Kim Worthy would not give up. And so I just want to thank her for her vision and leadership. I would not be standing here today if not for her. I also want to thank our core committee. And I want to name them by name. There are just a few of them, but they have been, if not for them, we would not have gotten there. So I mentioned Darcy McConnell, who was the co-chair of the campaign, Jamila Jackson, who was on the video, who's my little sister, Alicia Nails, Larminder Davis, Pam McClain, Thea Todd White, Beverly Hilton, Marsha Jackson, Gail Perry Mason, Lisa Whitmore Davis. All of those women put their heart and soul into this effort, meeting at the Traffic Jam restaurant every week to have discussions about how we were going to move the needle, and we did. And I also want to thank, but I just want to say we could not have done it without the contributions of Michigan Women Forward because you are a fiduciary and you encouraged us and you gave us great ideas, and we thank you so much for that. You, certainly Carolyn and Peg Talent, who really was very instrumental in bringing us to the table, and so I want to acknowledge them. And finally, I want to acknowledge my guys, my family, my husband, Ken Coleman, and my son, Jackson Coleman. They got dragged to so many events where they were the only men in the room over the span of a few years. And, you know, I know some people might have thought it was odd to have my little boy, because he was really a little boy when all this happened, at events like that. But yeah, I protected him because this was tough stuff, and some of this stuff was not appropriate for an 8 or 9-year-old kid. But I can say with pride that rape culture is going to end with his generation because that kid gets it, and we are going to continue to work with our women and men to make sure that we all get it so that people like Natalie won't have to live the nightmare that she lived and won't have to be the kind of, have the kind of advocacy. We are so proud of you for doing what you did, but it should have never happened. And so we're going to do everything we can to make sure it never happens again. Thank you.
Wow, this is amazing, truly. Okay, so I would like to introduce our next person, Sue Jander Noah, community volunteer and co-founder of Jander Noah Foundation 42 North. Well, it really is a good afternoon. I'm so pleased to be here to be a part of the Michigan Women Forward celebration of the 2020 Women of Achievement and Courage Awards. The MWF's work with entrepreneurs is a great tie with the Gender Noah Foundation. We have a mentoring program called GEM, which stands for Gender Noah Entrepreneurial Mentoring. Our mission is that the West Michigan business community will clearly recognize the mentoring culture. And I think the MWF and their emphasis on mentoring and its effect on the success of women in business is one of the strong pillars of their mission. We at 42 North Partners are committed to this mission as well, and we are honored to support MWF. This afternoon, the task of introducing Meg Miller-Willett as a woman of achievement and courage is a great privilege. Her involvement in MWF, in Make-A-Wish Michigan, in the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital Foundation Board, the Grand Rapids Community Foundation's Challenge Scholars, the Grand Rapids Art Museum, Hope College, and many more is stunning and voluntary. When Meg joins an organization, she jumps into the deep end of the pool. She's a wish-granting volunteer that works one-on-one with children to help fulfill their heartfelt wishes. She promotes all events that support and fund the organizations that she's a part of. She promotes education. She brings people on board to visit and tour Helen DeVos Children's Hospital, and much more. As I reflect on the long list of Meg's participation in organizations and her accomplishments in our community, I come up with many adjectives that express what she does and how she does it. These include her outgoing personality. She's active, creative, generous, caring, mission-focused, encouraging, hardworking, energetic, passionate, accepting, promotional, persistent, and above all, Meg is always fun. But I also want to introduce you to more of Meg, who she is. Meg is a woman of great substance. She deeply cares about her family, her friends, and the kinds of organizations that she chooses to be a part of. She's loving and supportive of her husband, Greg. She has two very fine young sons, Nathan and Andrew. I want to interject here that MWF's mission to advance equality and opportunity for women and girls, and that women need to be role models and advocates for their daughters and girls, and also to raise young men who are influential and supportive of that mission too. She has friends that rally for her and anything she's passionate about. Her impact on our community is widespread and inclusive. Let's let a few other friends share in their thoughts on this video.
Meg, she's not afraid to enter any arena. No matter the challenges, Meg enriches others' lives and helps us to understand that we, as women, have the ability to soar.
She's not somebody that just goes and wants recognition or achievement on her own. It's not pleasurable to her unless there are other people she's bringing along as well.
If you're working with Meg at Make-A-Wish Michigan, whether it be on the board or you're one of her wish families and wish kids that she's taking care of, she really makes you feel so special. She is always thinking outside the box, being creative, and just trying to make us be our best, as well as challenging others to continue to be their best.
We serve on the board together at Hope College, and we have Women of Color awards every year through our Center of Diversity and Inclusion. And her encouraging words to those women and to the young women on our campus, I love that she motivates them to pursue their dreams and not give up.
What is Meg not passionate about? Her generous heart knows no bounds, especially for children. She sees youngsters as especially deserving of her time and resources.
Meg's a great teacher of laughter. One story in particular, we were driving in her car and we went to go meet with some Lego masters. At Make-A-Wish, you just never know what you're going to be doing with how fun and whimsical our wishes are. We left there and we were on the phone with some pirates for a wish kid, and it's just, we both had such a belly laugh. We went from Legos to meeting with pirates, all to make special wishes come true for West Michigan kids.
She not only sits on the board of and raises money for Make-A-Wish, but got involved in actually granting wishes. And I think it was one of her favorite hobbies, frankly, is sit with a child and her family and talk about where that child might go in this wish and how that enlightens this child's life in a very difficult time.
Her ability to get someone charged up about a cause is pretty incredible.
I'm betting that if all things were possible, Meg would click her heels 3 times and wish for superpowers. Maybe the ability to travel faster than a speeding bullet. That way she could multiply her influence in an exponential way.
Her heart is so big and she cares so much about the kids and the people she's serving that it just exudes from her. She just emotes this sense of caring and love.
All right, Meg, cheers to you and congratulations on this very deserving recognition for the amazing woman that you are.
You deserve this award. You are such a great role model and mentor to all women. We love you and we appreciate you.
It's wonderful to see you get this recognition that you so greatly deserve.
A woman of achievement, that is who you are.
I now want to welcome my dear friend Meg to the stage to accept her award as 2020 Women of Achievement and Courage Award recipient.
Who was that woman? Come on. Thank you, Sue. You are a dear friend, and I appreciate all those words. Obviously, thank you to Carol and Sandra and Ellie and my token man, Steve, in my video. That was really heartfelt, and I will always remember that. And before I start, because I always forget this, I'm going to thank my husband, so it's out of the way. So, Greg, thank you. You know, Joan did such a great job, and Kim did a great job, so thank you to you, buddy. You're my partner, and I love you. So now into the real business. So I believe one of the biggest honors one can receive is to be recognized for their accomplishments from other women. So, and women we're great. We are champions of one another. Put this down a little bit. And so I'm grateful to all of you who have tuned in today to not only support me, but to support Joan and Kim and obviously our sister survivors. So women, I'm sorry that we're not together, because women are supposed to be together. We are meant to be together to share love and support with one another, to laugh and to cry with one another. And we've obviously done that here in this room. So, but we wish next year we'll all be back together. So I would like to thank the Michigan Women Forward organization and friends for this amazing honor. I have been impressed with how MWF has responded during the past number of months in providing financial needs for women in their businesses and yeah, see? Mm-hmm. You can't start over on these kind of things, can you? So anyway, but I've just been impressed, and most impressed that Michigan Women Forward have actually done so much for women of color, to support our women of color. And they have faced so much, and I just think that I have such hope that they're going to have such better things to gain in the future. So I see this as a time for women to flourish and to create change. We have a unique opportunity right now, and women can create the change that is needed in the world. Women are excellent communicators. They know how to support one another, and quite frankly, we just know how to get things done. So it's time for us all to treat one another as equals. So I'm going to do something a little unconventional because that's what Meg does. And I'm going to sing you a little song. I should have not even used the script because this will be much better. So you remember Helen Reddy back in 1971? She sang a little song called "I Am Woman." All right, I have no right to be doing this, but this is that you said it was a Woman of Courage and award, and here's my courage. So yeah, my big thing is I just have to start out on the right key. All right, here we go. I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to go back and pretend. And I've been down there on the floor, no one's ever gonna keep me down again. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I've paid the price, but look how much I've gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. So as crazy as that was, go and look at the lyrics to that song. So what was so applicable in 1971 when Helen first sang that song is still applicable today. And we need to remember, we are strong, we are invincible, we are women. So the time is right for women, mothers, sisters, aunts, mentors, teachers, and friends. It is time for us to first start with ourselves. We need to display our best selves. And when we do that, we need to teach that to our children and to others. So what are you going to do to change the conversation for future generations so that they learn to treat everyone as equals? We are all different, and we can celebrate that, but we are also all worthy of respect. We are all worthy of a quality education, and we are all worthy of having equal opportunities and pay. It is no longer acceptable for us to state what we stand for in a quiet way. It is imperative that we roar, that there be no more racism, that we roar, that there be equal opportunities for all, and that we as women roar, that we roar in support of one another. Thank you.
Thank you, Meg. You are amazing as always, and you never disappoint. A few closing comments from Carolyn.
Oh, wow. I don't know how you felt when you tuned in or came in this room an hour or so ago, but I feel inspired. I feel ready to roar, Meg. I feel that we can accomplish anything that we set our minds to. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to our sponsors who were here for us on this first virtual event. Thank you to the team of people who made this happen, our co-chairs, especially these incredible honorees. Congratulations to all of you for this honor. It was well-deserved. We chose wisely, I can tell. To the sister survivors, please let them know how much we love them and we support them. Kim Trent, Joan Budden, and Meg Willett, thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you. So I hope that out there, you're feeling as inspired as we feel here in this room. I hope you think that the work of MWF is good. I hope you've all, every single one of you have donated. Because if you haven't, stop watching me, stop listening, and get on your phones or go online and make a donation. We are not going to let Meyer take back the rest of that $30,000. If we don't get there, we are going to all donate so that Stacy, we're coming after that $30,000 check, right? All right. So we want all of you to know, I hope you feel today the way we feel in this room, that you have a statewide sisterhood of women who are here standing beside you through every part of your career. Whenever you need us, we'll be there for you. Sometimes we'll be standing behind you when you need a little push. And sometimes we'll be standing in front of you, pulling you forward, because we need each other to pull each other forward. It's important that every single one of you achieve your dreams and your goals, and together we can do that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Go donate. We have until Sunday, June 28th. Meyer's going to let us keep doing this. Send this to everybody you've ever met. Even if you haven't met them, just send it to them and ask them to please donate. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you in person next year.